Original.
This is so exciting. Happy Friday, everybody.
Hey.
Oh, happy Friday. I'm drinking a diet root beer. This live show is sponsored by A&W Root Beer, Diet Root Beer, the best diet root beer in the business. Every purchase of A&W Diet Root Beer, 50 cents will go to the Rep Crawlers pot.
That is confirmed.
What are you drinking, Melissa?
I'm drinking pop.
Oh my God.
I'm drinking a Coca-Cola because it's Friday. And you know what? Why not?
Sometimes the fizz really gets to you.
I love it.
Right in the eye. right in the glass eye. Sometimes that fizz just goes straight to your glass eye. You guys have been waiting in this room for a while.
We're going to let someone in right now. And his name is Adam.
Hi.
Adam?
Right in. I didn't expect that.
Expect the unexpected when it comes to the web crawlers.
One moment. Let me pause my television.
Oh no. What are you watching? Shark Tank?
Shark Week. Mike Tyson punched a shark.
Is that true?
No, not really.
So Adam, what's up? Welcome.
Not much. I've been watching these live shows. They're fun.
Where are you calling from?
Thank you.
New Hampshire.
Oh. Where is that?
It's 69 in Vermont.
Oh, sick.
Oh, okay. I can see it now. I see it. It's the two. Okay. Thank you.
I see it too. Do you have a comment, suggestion, ghost story, any kind of story for us?
I've never had any experience like that except for sleep paralysis, which isn't, it's not supernatural. It's just your body playing a dumb trick on you, which sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one way
You
to
have
look
the
at it.
vibe of like a Bostonian.
It's very close.
Yeah, I'm originally from New York City, originally Queens.
Oh, yeah. I feel that. I feel that energy.
Is it Ray's original or original Ray's?
I didn't go in for Rays.
Okay.
New Park,
Okay.
Queens. That's what I go in for.
All right, fine.
So when you had sleep paralysis, did you see the hag, the evil hag?
No, that's the thing is, so after I had it, and it sucked, I watched that documentary on it called The Nightmare.
Yes.
Expecting what I wanted was like a scientist to be like, hey, this is why this happens. And instead it was all stories about people seeing demons, which I didn't see. I was just frozen, and it was like there was a sense of dread, but I didn't actually see anything.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was just real creepy.
Yeah, that was kind of my experience. Or I had like, all those weird like vines growing on top of me. Like I didn't see a thing in the corner. It was just like it was a weird, I remember reading about why it like scientifically happens. And it's because like your brain hasn't connected to your body yet.
Yes, like part of you is awake, but not fully.
Yeah.
Like you are, your brain is still like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Something.
Crazy.
That's cool.
Well,
that's fun.
That's pretty wild.
The thing I thought I would share.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen the cryptid map. There's a United map that has each state own cryptid.
Oh my God.
Oh, I think I might have seen that. And there's stories. People
Some of
write
them are
stories.
really lame because there's 50 states and there's not 50 fake things.
Okay,
so some of them are kind of made up.
Well, like the melon heads.
Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
I'll give you the
God.
one from New Hampshire.
Yeah, let's
Yes,
hear it.
Please.
It's called the Dover Jazz Ghost.
Oh, I like it. I like it
Hampshire's
already.
a town where I lived for a couple of years. It's right next to where I live now.
Are they just ghosts that do this? No. No.
Adam's like, no, they're not.
I'll cold read for you about the Dover Jazz Ghost.
Yes, give us a cold read. Okay.
A young woman newly relocated to Dover, New Hampshire in the 1960s was at a jazz club late one night. She saw a man dressed in black and carrying a saxophone staring at her from the shadows. When the woman returned home, she saw the man again sitting on a neighbor's lawn. Later that night, she heard sax music and looked out to see the same man on the neighbor's lawn now playing his sax.
Ooh.
Her neighbor of the disturbance, the neighbor said that her brother was a musician and would often sit out on her lawn and play his sax. had tragically died 3 years before.
Oh no.
And that's the cryptid of New Hampshire. One lady saw a ghost in the 60s.
Where do ghosts get the oxygen to play the saxophone is the crazy
Good
thing.
question.
You can't pull that thread.
That's where I'm
punch it
the
hole.
brains of this operation. Anyways, thank you so much. This has been we're have to look at this cryptid map. That's a great next step. Somebody write that down.
Sure.
Adam, thank you so much. Adam, yes.
Adam,
thank you. Thank you for calling in. We love you.
Thank you. Take care.
You too.
Adam.
Oh, and I want to shout out everyone who has Venmo'd us so far. Starting with, there were some this morning.
This morning?
So nice. Yeah, it started at like 9 a.m. I started getting Venmos.
Oh, shout out to Tyler.
Oh my God. They were afraid that we weren't going to do it.
I love that
if we
cold
didn't get
hard
enough.
cash, Well, I'll just start from right now. Thank you to Lauren Merrill, who paid $20. That's amazing.
Oh my God.
Cece, Rachel, Emily, Heather, Lee, Nicholas, Dylan, Shayna, a lot of people giving $10. Which
Oh my God.
Shayna's in the waiting room. We're going to let Shayna in.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's fucking let Shayna in.
Because Shayna...
So, Sarah in the chat said, I think that's just Lisa Simpson, not a sax playing cryptid. She also said you look like a sexy French mime.
Oh,
Jillian says, "Hey, skinny legends, you look like you work for Lauren Conrad or something." Allie,
ooh, that's
with
good.
your
Lauren Conrad works for me, bitch. I once met a girl named Shayna, and suddenly the name
Shayna's
has
connecting
never
to
felt
audio.
the same to me. Oh, Shayna.
Wait, Guy Fieri.
Welcome to Flavor
Oh my
Town.
God.
Welcome to Flavor Town, baby.
Hold on. Wait, don't put it back on. I want to take a picture. Hold on.
Oh my.
Holy shit. Thank you. That is amazing.
That was my Halloween costume last year.
That's
Are you
amazing.
I had like
serious?
a shirt with
Oh my
flames.
God.
It was a lot.
Oh, it's
Holy
good.
shit. I was also Guy Fieri. I don't think it was last year. It was the year. Yeah, it was Guy Fieri for Halloween.
Hell yeah.
It's a great costume.
Yeah, you got it. Well, I was Girl Fieri, but I had, it was my normal hair, but then I had a, what are they called? I had his like hair, facial hair, and then
His goatee?
I was wearing like his goatee. Yeah. And a big flame shirt and
Dumb
Ray-Bans.
sunglasses, yes.
Yeah. Oh, so what
Big
a
dumb
world. Shayna coming in hot.
Where are you calling from?
North Carolina.
Oh.
Hello to all
Nice.
the other.
Shayna's big on the Discord.
Yeah, I love the Discord because I wake
Oh,
up for
yes.
all of my.
Oh, are you Shea Club? Are you part of the Shea Club?
Yeah, part of the Shea Club.
Oh, the
Oh,
Shea
yeah,
Club.
represent.
Okay.
Green hair, but right now it's bleached. So
Oh, yes, yes.
I'm
Hello.
Got it. Well, welcome. We love the Discord. What
I went off
what
in the
is
Discord
your-
this morning. I was
did.
full of rage. Ooh, I was yelling at no one but myself.
I honestly thought Melissa was going to quit web crawlers over
I
Mark.
haven't felt that much rage. I didn't know what to do with myself.
I've seen her rageful though, because when Melissa's on the basketball court and someone wrongs her,
yes.
there's a switch goes
Yes.
off and there's no getting to her.
Yeah,
Really?
yes, that's true.
She's gone.
I have
But off
anger
the court, I've
problems.
never seen it.
I have anger.
I have
problems.
anger
That's why I
problems.
take the Lexapro Pro.
That's why I take the Prozac.
Anyway,
Shay, what's your story, question, comment, or concern?
Literally, I just popped in to wear a Guy Fieri mask and say hi.
Oh my god,
That's great.
I feel like
honestly,
not one thing has happened to me for months. So
listen,
Well,
that
thank
works
you.
for us. Well, thank you for doing that, making our night, and thank you for being so active in the Discord. You're like one of our moderators. We really appreciate it.
yeah.
sure. Y'all have a good one.
Thanver
You're
Shayna.
like whatever you say.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
So many
Oh my
shades.
God, I love that. Yeah. To elaborate, Melissa updated the episode with some fact finding, and we might do a little update also.
I just couldn't. I just, when I heard that he put it on his own YouTube and that he's like, it already has a couple thousand views and like he makes money from his YouTube, and I just put facts in there. I was like, no, this is actually how a vacuum works. It's not. Blah, blah, blah,
on
blah,
the chat, Melissa, they're saying David is telling everyone to go to the Flat Guy's YouTube video and hit it with a copyright strike so it gets taken down.
Oh, yeah.
So there's about to be an army of...
Yes.
Oh. Wow, the web crawlers
the
army.
Bimbo army.
They don't know army. When a group of bimbos
what's
gets
her
together.
Face in Game of Thrones with the dragons? We have the bimbos.
That's so crazy. I was literally going to do my background as Leela?
Hi, Leela. You had it right. It's Leela. Yeah.
Leela.
Hey, Leela.
Hi.
Good. Let me change all the gallery view.
I love your glasses and you look cool.
Hey. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, and that's a ukulele chord chart behind you. Allie, get into it.
You play the ukulele?
Not well. I
mean, you know how.
I don't.
A little bit.
I can't play it at all. I bought a ukulele 5 years ago, and I, no joke, have been trying to tune it for 5 years, and I get so frustrated. I just keep giving up.
Oh yeah, she's been sitting in the corner of my room with my guitar that I've had for about 11 years. So like, I feel that. I understand.
I've got my ukulele right there.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
That's so exciting.
We need to start a band.
I have a mandolin. Does that count?
Well, there you go. Then we're
mandolin?
basically a band.
It's like a violin.
Honestly, I can't wait.
I don't know.
This is insane.
Oh my God.
So do you have a question, story, comment, or
where are you
concern,
calling
or all
from?
the above?
Oh, I'm calling from New York City. From Manhattan.
Ooh. Concrete
Big
jungle where
Apple.
dreams are made of.
Concrete jungle, wet dream tomato.
Wet dream tomato.
But I called in because last week I commented that I was going to talk about the 2 serial killers from my small hometown.
Yes.
And when I did some research earlier because I realized I was younger and one of them I wasn't alive for. So I wanted to make sure I had all the facts. And I was talking to my roommate about it, and I wanted to call my mom about one of them because she was 14 or 13 or something like that when the first one happened. And then I realized that when the one that I was alive for happened, I was also 14. So
holy shit.
Me and my mom just had this weird bond. I didn't get to call. She didn't answer my phone call. So I see how it is.
Fuck you, Mom.
I am from a small town in Gaffney, South Carolina, called Gaffney, South Carolina. It's about an hour south of Charlotte. The only things we're famous for, we were in House of Cards. It's where Frank Underwood's from. We have a big peach water tower. And Andy McDowell's from there. So that's all the exciting things.
Oh,
okay.
So yeah. But the first one is the Gaffney Strangler, and I grew up hearing stories about him. His name was Leroy Martin, and he killed 4 women. He killed 2 grown women and then 2 teenage girls in 1967 and 1968. The first one, the first 3 he strangled and raped. The first one's husband was arrested and convicted because he waited he waited the longest after her to start again. But he got arrested and convicted and sentenced to 18 years in prison and got sent to prison. And then I wrote notes because I was panicking. So the third victim, who was 14 years old, a 14-year-old girl, she was killed on the February 8th of 1968. And then the same day he called this man who was currently the editor, at the time the editor of the big town paper. Yeah. And he gave him the locations of the first 2 bodies, and then called again 4 days later and said that there would be more killings and warned them that there would be more killings. And I didn't realize this, but I knew that editor when I was a kid. He was the father. He was the father of the director of the local theater, and so I worked with his son all the time, and he would help out. But I knew this man, and he's written a book about it.
Shit.
The 4th victim was grabbed when she was with her sister and stuffed into a car. It was a really quick kind of thing.
Oh my God.
So she gave the description of the car. And there were 2 just local men that had heard the description and were just kind of keep patrolling the city outside of the police. And they saw the car, and they found out later that where the car was, that is where he had dumped the last body. and he was caught at the end of the month.
Shit.
But he wasn't given the death penalty because he was not given adequate. He gave all the locations of the bodies, but he wasn't given adequate counsel, so they couldn't.
Oh, come on!
I know.
Cops ruined everything.
Well, he got 4 life sentences, and then he was sent to he was sent to a prison in Colombia, which is the capital in the middle of the state. So he was sent to a prison.
Oh, I was thinking like Colombia,
Colombia,
out of the country. I was like,
Sent out of the United
Ooh
States.
la la.
You fuck up bad enough, we send you to Colombia. But he was stabbed in 1972 by a fellow inmate, so he didn't even get to live out like 4 years of his sentence. Like,
So did he die? Did he die from being stabbed?
Yeah. But apparently he had. They thought he was just going after young women, but apparently he had split personalities. He like said himself that he had split personalities and a violent one that would like take over, like him and take control of him. Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I wanted to get my mom's like input on this because she was like around the age of two of the girls that were killed.
Oh,
that's so
She
scary.
didn't answer my phone call, so we didn't get to hear from her.
Well, snooze you lose, Mom.
Right. But the second one, I was also 14. This was 2009.
Oh my
He's
God.
labeled a spree killer, but we didn't know at the time, like if he was a serial killer. We didn't know what the motive was.
Yeah.
The first one was a peach farmer who was the grandfather of a friend of mine. He and his wife were at their house. He walked up and like talked to them about buying hay from them, and then he left. And then the wife left to go to the store or something. And then he came back and shot the farmer. And yeah,
Damn.
and then
Why?
it's still unclear. Still,
He likes to kill. He's crazy.
yeah. They later found out he had a 25-page long criminal record.
Oh.
Yeah. So this whole thing lasted 6 days, by the way. It's like the middle of summer in South
Oh,
Carolina.
wow.
Hot as balls, and we're all afraid of a serial killer. It was a moment.
Holy shit.
It was a thing.
It was a thing.
Yeah.
We were on like national news, and like we're a tiny town. We don't do that. We don't get on national news for anything.
Oh my God.
And then the second was a woman who was 83 years old, and her daughter who was 50. He tied them up and killed them. Unclear why.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then the last one's the craziest. So there was a guy, he had an appliance store, furniture and appliance store, and he was there. I don't remember I think he was there alone, and he came in and he tied him up in his office and shot him. And then his daughter came to check on him. She was 2 years older than me. She had gone on a few trips with our church. And so I like kind of knew her.
Oh no.
He shot her too, and then left for whatever reason.
God.
And she actually, she lived for a couple of days. She was in the hospital, and then she passed away, unfortunately. But he also like went into a realty office of a guy that my parents knew. He went into the Ace Hardware locally and was like caught on surveillance camera walking through, and my friend's mom worked there. Like it was, everybody was on the lookout for this big Ford Explorer. But it ended up in a shootout in North Carolina, in a place called Dallas, North Carolina, which is like an hour away. But
No
you got
way.
Columbia,
And how-
you got Dallas. Make up
I
your
know.
mind, you know?
You know what I don't get about like killers like that, like serial killers like that, is when they use a gun, like, and it's like, well, if you enjoy killing, like that's all you want to do is like pull a trigger. Do you know what I mean? Like
Go to the shooting
it's just
range.
weird to me that like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
or go hunting. Like, if you want to kill something, women, go hunting. We're in the South. It's hunting country. But yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me, that like urge to kill, and the way you kill is to just go.
Yeah,
like,
and that was how they traced
you-
it back to him, was that they had the shootout with police, and he ended up shooting a cop in the leg, and then they shot him, and he died. And then they took ballistics
God.
and compared them to the killings in Gaffney, and that was how they like linked him to the 5 crimes. And yeah. But the building where the last 2 victims were shot, the guy and his daughter, my dad owns it now, and that's where his business is. And his office is where they got shot, and I don't like to go in there.
no,
I'm not.
Do you think it's haunted?
I wouldn't doubt it. I don't spend enough time in there to know. So
Holy
yeah,
shit.
I don't like specifically don't like going in his office. Like there's like a big patch of carpet missing. And yeah.
Oh my
Oh, where the blood stain is just a square.
Yeah, I remember because he was the first, because like the building was
The outline of a body.
it was on the market forever because nobody wanted it specifically for that reason.
Yeah.
He bought it probably like 6 years later, maybe.
Oh
Something
my God.
like that.
I would buy a house, a murder house or a haunted house. I would do that.
I can see that for you.
Yeah.
So for some reason, that doesn't surprise me.
That makes it. That all adds up. Oh my God. Well,
yeah.
Thank you so much. This is a crazy story.
Yeah.
I have some follow-up questions for Maria, but thank you for leading us
I see
on
the
that
chat.
path.
I see what they're saying about me.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so
guys.
much, Leela.
We love you.
Bye.
So how would
Yeah,
you want
I
to?
know.
I understand what you're saying. I would want to be like Hannibal Lecter. Like if I
Yeah,
wanted
if you're
to
gonna
someone,
kill,
I'd
like you want to like physically kill
I'd, like,
someone
get
or
into
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
well,
does
that's what
seem
I don't
weird.
understand. It's like it seems like a lot to put on the line just so you could pull a trigger.
Yeah, Nate says Maria
Yeah.
needs to see the light go out in a man's eyes. No, I get what you're saying. That it's weird.
Well, thank you.
I get it. Too.
I get it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, like a gun isn't how I'd kill someone. I do.
Maria?
Oh, another Maria.
That's yes.
Hello.
Okay, hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Maria does forensics, or she's studying homicide and forensic. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm in Iowa.
Oh, Iowa.
So
I've been to
Iowa's
Iowa.
beautiful.
Not very- it is. It is beautiful sometimes. Some parts of the-
Like it can be beautiful.
Can be.
Do you have a question, comment, concern, all of the above?
I have a ghost story.
Ooh, yes.
Oh my God, tell us.
Okay, so I used to live in Savannah in Georgia for like half a year. I went to school there. And
Nice.
Savannah is really haunted. Like historically, it's like one of the most haunted towns in America. That's what they say. Like, who knows? But I lived in a dorm, and one of my friends was Native American, and her mom was like a healer. She was like a Native American healer. And one day she came into my room and she was like, "This is a bad room. Like, I would hate to live in here. Like, there's something bad about this room." And I obviously took her seriously because it seems like she would know. And I was
Sure.
Yeah.
what do I do? Like, you know. And then a couple weeks later, I was asleep. It was the middle of the night. And I had like a little shelf next to my bed that had like a bowl on it and a fork inside the bowl. And the bowl was pushed back against the wall and there was stuff in front of it. And I like woke up in the middle of the night to like this loud crash. And the bowl was shattered like in the middle of the room. Probably like 10 feet away from my bed. And I was like half asleep.
God.
So I didn't really think a lot about it. You know, I was like half asleep. I was like, maybe I knocked it on the ground. And then I got back into bed and the fork was like on my pillow, like tucked in, like under my covers. And then I like started to think and I was like, I could not have knocked the bowl over because there was stuff in front of it on the shelf. And I was like, it was so scary. I couldn't go back to bed. And then I dropped out of college.
And then I refused to go to college.
I didn't go back. There was a hurricane and then I never went back. So.
Fuck it.
Oh my God, that is so scary.
It was really
I
scary.
actually had something like that happen once where I had a hanging planter on my window. And then one day I came home and my planter was in the middle of my room.
Oh yeah,
And
I
I,
remember
like-
you telling us that.
I told you about that.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know how that happened or why that, but I like dismissed it. And then it was like a few weeks later, I was like, that was weird. Actually,
Yeah.
that was a weird thing that happened.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fucking nuts. People are loving the ending of you just never going back to that place again.
I didn't. It was awful and I left. So
Yeah, it was a perfect ending. Oh my God, Maria, thank you so much for calling in with that story. I loved it. And also we're matching.
yeah. Oh my God.
Matching
It's
names,
perfect.
matching shirts.
Hair colors. Yeah, you guys got nothing.
I got nothing.
What's on your leg, Melissa?
Leg?
Oh, I thought that was like a bandage.
No, these are pants.
Oh,
A pina colada and it's raining. Okay.
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you, Maria. Bye. That's crazy, man. I believe that shit. What is
Man.
Melissa's Pistol Shrimps basketball number? People want to know.
Oh, I'm number 3.
Okay.
That she is. Oh, you guys, do you want to say what's going on with your store?
Yeah. So at our store right now, at our online store, you can go there at hothorse.horse if you're nasty, or webcrawlerspod.com. We are having a sale. Melissa, what's our sale?
20% off everything if you use the code LIVE.
Yes, that's LIVE, live or live. But
Or I like to say live in French.
yeah. Live, 20% off anything in the shop. That burp sealed the
guys.
deal.
Sydney's coming
Sydney.
in. Sydney.
Hey, Sydney. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I'm okay. You know,
Where
drove home. It was
Yeah.
like,
where are you?
where am I? I live outside of Atlanta,
Oh.
but I work on the other side of Atlanta than I live. So
Wow.
Is that a
Cross.
riddle?
is that what?
I said, is that a riddle?
It could be, but it's not. Unintentional riddle.
Do you have a question, comment, concern, story, something exciting or not exciting to share?
So I have a story, and it's kind of a ghost story, but also
sick.
might not be.
Well,
I'm
So-
into it, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a kid, my brother and I used to go camping with my grandparents in state parks, and we lived in Ohio. And then my aunt, my uncle, and our cousins would go too. And so one day our grandma was like, here's some money, go to the camp store and like buy some stuff. Because we were probably getting on their nerves. So they're like, go somewhere else. We went, and my brother bought a whistle, and he decided that his new hobby was going to be to stand around the campsite and whistle. And every time
Oh, God. This is already
Whistle.
scary to me.
a bird or something responded to him, like without like no beat, like he'd whistle and it would respond.
Oh.
And so then my uncle and my grandpa told him, if you keep doing that, the Tiki Man is going to get you, because that's how he lures children into the woods, is with these whistles and these communications. Then he'll lure you into the woods. And so we keep going about our business. My brother is still whistling and communicating with this entity in the woods. And then our aunt comes to the campsite, and she says that she was listening to the news the other day and heard reports of this man who was luring kids into the woods and murdering them.
No.
Looking for these people.
Oh my God, Maria. Craig just walked by in the background right as you said that. I hate it. Okay, sorry, continue.
No, you're good. And so at this point, we're all like freaked out, and we're trying to be careful at night and like not stray too far away from the campsite because we don't want to get murdered by the Tiki Man. So we're all sitting around the campfire one night.
Oh no.
And we always get my uncle to tell us ghost stories. My other older cousin and I were like, we really wanted a ghost story, even though we were all like scared witless by this like mysterious person in the woods. And so he starts telling the story, and then all of a sudden we hear somebody walking up toward our campsite from the woods.
No.
And so my uncle grabs the flashlight from under his camp chair, and he shines it in the woods, and it lands on a face.
No.
But the catch is, my grandpa and my uncle built a Tiki Man out of a rake, a paper plate, and some flannel shirt, put it in the woods just to scare us.
No.
Oh my
That's
God, that
really
is so
crazy.
mean.
So loud. And
That's
I jumped out of
demented.
his chair. And so we still tell the story because it embarrasses my brother. And so that's really the fun
Oh
of it.
my God, that is so
Wait, you
fucked
know what
up.
the craziest part of the story is? Your aunt coming up and being like, yeah, there's a guy murdering kids in
They
the
wanted her
woods.
to do that. They called her before she came to tell her to lie to us
I
about
know,
the
and she
murder.
was like, yeah, I'll lie to some kids about a murderer killing kids.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
no
was
worries.
scary,
No, I'll do it.
but good memory, I
That's
guess.
great. You have a fun family. The family that scares together stays together.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Oh my God, amazing.
Well,
Y'all are
thank you,
great.
Sydney. Thank you.
Thanks for
You're welcome. I listen to you on my hour-and-a-half drive every day.
across.
Get
Okay.
How many miles per
Most
hour
days,
are you
yeah.
going, and how many miles is it?
Melissa,
am going between
Trying to solve the riddle.
yeah, that's
and 85 miles per hour.
And if a train was coming
Sometimes
at
0.
you at the other direction.
no.
Okay.
Oh my God.
No, never mind.
Free Sydney for
Okay.
Melissa's terror.
All right, Sydney. Well, thank you so much.
You're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're free to go about your Friday. I gotta turn on another light. It's getting a little dark in here.
Yeah, it is getting dark in there.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Someone says, and then Maria says, but Allie, Craig isn't home. Ooh.
Wait, how weird does my video look right now? It looks like
That looks like someone else's hand.
No. That looks weird. It looks like a man's arm, like reaching in.
He's holding the microphone for me.
It's our good friend Daniel.
Daniel.
Hey,
Hi.
how's it going, guys?
Ooh,
Great.
sexy.
How's it going?
Hi.
Yeah,
Good. How are you?
Daniel's keeping the Discord alive and
Like
well.
single-handedly
I'll tell you
keeping
that
it
much.
alive. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
I'm a very sad and lonely person. Yeah,
That's hot.
No.
We all are.
just very online and working from home, I guess.
Yeah, you're very.
How's everyone
online.
doing?
Good.
Great,
How are you?
Very online.
You're so
Okay.
online.
Yeah. No, I wanted to call. I feel bad to like call in twice, but I had another story that I thought was good, and I thought this
Please.
time if I really like medicated myself beforehand, I might actually be able to tell it well and like.
It's crazy
so
how many
I-
people self-medicate before they come on these live shows.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. What?
Look, you guys are very, cool and intimidating. So,
I mean, I'm not.
Tell that to Mark. Tell that to Mark.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I will.
What's your story? Please indulge us.
So I've mentioned this comment that I worked at, but I also like had some experiences in the house that I grew up in. And so I have notes because I didn't want to like botch the telling of this and forget something. But so the house I grew up in was my great uncle's house. And so when he and his wife died, my dad bought it from his estate. And my great aunt Kate, who was his wife, she died in the house. And so anytime we would hear or see something weird as a kid, my mom would always say, like really nonchalantly, "Oh, it's probably just Aunt Kate. Like she never really liked children, and like doesn't like that you're in the house, kind of thing."
Don't worry.
And so
it's just
for-
Kate. She hated kids.
She will kill you if given the chance. So, like, so my parents are both really Catholic, and like, my mom is Guatemalan, so like I think all of that kind of informed her, and so she was always talking about like demons and spirits when we were kids, and I think that was kind of like part of what led her to say things like that. But the one place where I would see a lot of stuff was in the attic of this house, which it wasn't finished when my dad got it. But he was like an architect and engineer, and he turned it into like a finished space, but it was only like a half story. So like in the middle of the attic, like the ceiling was like a sloped thing under the gable. And when you would go up the stairs, it was one big room, but it kind of functioned like two separate spaces. So on the right-hand side, you had like a family room with like a TV and a couch and a little fireplace. And then the other side was like my dad's drafting table and like a computer table and this really big loom, because my mom was like really into like knitting and like wool.
Sounds like a nice little
stuff like that.
space.
Yeah, it sure
It
does.
was a nice little space.
Sure does.
And yeah, I'm really trying to the
you
geography of
painted
it's
a
important.
painted
I
a
wanna
picture
live
that
there.
will stick in my mind for
They
years
still
to
live
come.
there, so one of these days,
Yeah.
you might sell it. Yeah. But so I shared a really small room with my brother until like he was in college. Like it was like 9 by 13. So we did most of our like playing up there as kids. And I don't remember when it started, but for several years, I started seeing things on the left side of this attic behind this giant loom. I mean, it was like pretty big, especially for like a kid. So like one time I swear I saw, and this is going to sound so stupid, I swear I saw E.T. behind the loom, but like that part of the movie where he's like all sick and like white, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And like, you know, in hindsight, it's probably just like I was traumatized and I saw that movie too young. And so that's like pretty easy to write off. But the thing that like really stuck with me was that I would always see this little boy back there, and he had shaggy red hair, and he was always like wearing the same outfit, like these overalls with a striped shirt. Oh yeah. Is that what Chucky wears? Maybe I saw that too, and that influenced it. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'm an idiot.
No. Keep going, Chuck. Keep going.
Oh no. But he was like, he seemed shy. Like he didn't seem menacing. He was always like kind of hiding, like kind of peeking out from behind the loom in the shadows. Never said anything to me, whatever. And, you know, I think maybe this happened from the ages of like 5 to 8 or 5 to 10. And then it stopped at some point, and I just never really talked about it. And like years later, when I was in my early 20s, I was at this family get together, and I overheard my brother having a conversation with one of my mom's cousins. And they're talking about like aliens and the paranormal. And I think this cousin of my mom's was like talking about some time when he like smoked a cigarette and then like lost a couple of hours with his friend. Like it was like a moment later and it was 3 hours. And he was like, it's crazy. I think we were abducted. And I was like, oh my God, this is so stupid. And so then it's my brother's turn, and he starts mentioning this red-haired boy that he used to play with in the attic.
Stop.
And I was like, wait a minute. I got really mad. I was like, how never
Was that the boy you saw?
That's him. That's uncanny. I think he had a hat or something.
He was like old timey.
And the stripes. Honestly, the stripes were more like Allie's shirt. I feel like it was a black and
French
white.
mime.
He could have been a French
red-haired French mime.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on a minute. So what happened? This is freaking me out. So you and your brother used to play with this ghost and no one talked about it?
But they didn't know. They didn't know each other played with it.
Yeah, we never talked about it. So, because like I'm hearing him talk about this story, and I'm like, how the fuck? Like I'm getting mad. I'm like, he's stealing my one really good ghost story, my like creepy imaginary friend. And so I jump into the conversation, and that was like the moment where I was like, wait a minute. And like every time I like write this story down or like tell it, I get like really like scared still at that moment where it's like, hang on a second, like you saw this kid, and he's like, yeah. And he like claims that he played with him, that they did things together, but that he never talked, like he never said a word. And so
God, what a freak.
I don't know if the reason why he was always like looking at me was that he was like, you know, because we would it was never like, oh, that's my side and that's his side if we were splitting up to play. Like, I wonder if the kid was like looking for my brother kind of thing because they had this relationship.
I wonder why he liked your brother more than you.
I don't know. Well, he's just more approachable.
What do you think it is in kids that you wouldn't say, hey, there's like a random kid in the living room?
Right.
Yeah, that is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's right here. Yeah, kids are stupid.
Kids are weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a very weird, stupid kid, and like I feel like I was always really nervous and afraid of everything.
Yeah.
And that was probably because my mom was telling me there were demons and I was going to hell all the time.
God.
Your dad hates you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so that's that.
Oh my
scary,
God, that's
man.
so creepy.
That's freaky.
That's
Well, you
really
need
crazy.
to figure out if the kid died in that house.
Oh.
I did look into it, and the only thing I could find, my uncle and aunt were the second owners of the house. They moved in like 1951 or 52,
wow.
and it was built in like 42 or 43. And the couple that lived there before, and this is going to sound fake, I couldn't find any evidence that they had a kid that died in the house, but they were very young. I found all these newspaper articles about them. They were very young. She worked for the federal government in DC, and he worked at the University of Maryland as a professor, and he taught like agricultural sciences. They left and they went to Purdue. I think he got a job at Purdue. So they moved there and they left after having only been in the house for a few years. They were very young. Once they were in Illinois or wherever Purdue is, they had some kids. She lived to be 103 and didn't die until 2014.
Wow.
But I found her obituary. And in the photo on her obituary, she has red hair. and you know, I mean, old people dye their hair. That's like a trope. So like, you know, who knows? But I was like, okay, well, that's kind of interesting. And like, I don't know. I mean, there's no direct thing that I could find when doing the research about it. Like, so
she had a secret botched miscarriage in the house. She had a secret abortion in the house, and that kid
is back in the 40s.
I mean, yeah, maybe they had a kid that died young, and that's why they wanted to leave. Because they just wanted to get out of that house and get rid of them. I mean, that's I can't prove that that's what happened, but that was sort of my like theory. It's like, well, maybe this was their kid, and he just kind of got left behind there, and was whatever, looking for his family, or I don't know.
Scary stuff.
Who knows?
Man.
Damn.
Holy shit.
What a downer.
No, that's a good story.
No, that is crazy. Well, call in next week with another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
cool.
Daniel.
Thanks for doing
We'll
these.
see you on the Discord.
Bye.
Holy
Dang.
shit.
I can't imagine.
He always has good stories. He's a good storyteller.
Jake's coming in. I gotta plug in my computer. But say hi to Jake.
Jake!
He's still connecting to the audio. He's still connected to the audio.
Did not connect.
to the audio.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, now we can.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Doing well, thank you.
I was gonna tell like an old like story that my dad told me, but today the craziest fucking thing happened at work. So I just have to
Let's
tell
hear
the story.
it. Wait, where are you calling from?
It's why I'm from Buffalo.
You're in Buffalo.
From bright and sunny tropical Buffalo, New York.
Great.
So today I work at one of my jobs is working at a grocery store. And we have a second floor, which is basically like a dining area. And I'm pretty much like a waiter up there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can order food downstairs. They send it up in a dumbwaiter. I also talk with my hands, sorry. And I know I also sound like the love child of, I sound like the love child of Seth Rogen and Kermit the Frog. So.
What? No, you do not.
I could hear Seth Rogen.
Love child.
I hear Seth Rogen.
I've gotten it so many times. Yeah. But so anyways, I'm basically like a food runner, waiter, busser type thing at this place. So the owner of the store had told me like early in my shift, he's like, there's a sketchy kid that we like saw earlier. So like if you see him, just keep an eye on him. I was like, okay. So I saw the kid like 20 minutes later. He was acting like super sketchy, just like walking around the upstairs area, and I just didn't know what he was doing. So I purposely was like cleaning a table near him, and he walks by me towards like the huge staircase to go downstairs, and all of a sudden I hear him start sprinting. And I turn around and I hear a girl like scream.
Oh my God.
So he apparently like it, I don't know what the relationship was between him and the girl. She was one of my coworkers that works in the bakery downstairs. And I run towards the stairs, and he is literally like stomping on her.
Oh
like,
my
in
God.
the staircase. Yeah. So he had been waiting for her all day.
No.
And yeah, I swear to God, it was the most insane thing. So luckily our security guard was at the bottom of the stairs already. So he and another guy try to like wrestle the guy that did this, and the guy somehow gets away from them. So they did a terrible job. And at this point, I am just like so hyped up on adrenaline because I just saw that happen. And I chased the guy out of the store. He runs a block and a half down the street and turns into like the neighborhood or near the store.
Yeah.
Tries to hop a fence, and I was right behind him. And I literally I pulled him off the fence. He turns around, punches me in the face, and that's how I get this.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but I was so like just full of adrenaline and hyped up, and I was I was furious with this kid because I saw like what he had just done. That I like.
God.
I'm not trying to sound like cool. I did not even flinch when he hit me because I was just like so like.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Good for you for running after him. Like most people would not do that. That's a huge. Oh God.
I wasn't even thinking. Like my mind just went blank.
Yeah.
So I just chased after him and got him. But when he hit me and I didn't move, he looked at me like he was gonna just pee himself.
Yeah, I'm
He
sure.
looked so
Right.
scared.
He thought you were some sort of monster.
And you're a cyborg. You're Arnold
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
That's what went through his
I'm
mind.
just
He went, "Oh my God,
surprised,
he's a cyborg."
Yeah, I'm a really big guy. Like I'm 6'5". Like I'm a really big guy. And he was much smaller than me. So I put him in a headlock and waited for the security guys to catch up to me.
Nice.
And they got him, and the police came and put him in cuffs. And I guess I overheard my manager say that like apparently the girl had. Like she did have a restraining
She was being
order
a
against
bitch.
him too.
Oh,
She
Apparently,
deserved
the girl
it.
was being a
A
bitch.
bitch and on her period, so you know.
So you can't
You
blame
guys
him.
famously hate women, so
Yeah, he was doing what he had to do. I don't know.
So that's a
No,
bitch.
but,
she was
to be put in
acting
her
up.
place.
she is doing okay though. That's the most important
So
part.
she knew him.
She
So
was
she
like-
knew him.
Yeah, I yes, she definitely knew him. I don't know like the
fuck.
exact relationship they had, but like I guess she had. Someone said she had a restraining order against him already. So if that's the case, like that dude's fun.
Yeah.
Like, so good.
Restraining orders are so scary to me because it's just a piece of paper that's like, please don't do
Yeah.
this.
How many have you gotten, Allie?
How many what?
Very
Restraining
funny.
orders.
Maria asked me how many I've
I was
gotten.
asking Allie how many. They're so scary to Allie.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you're a hero
Like a
for
piece of
chasing
paper is
after
going to
him.
stop me.
Yeah. So that wasn't how I was expecting to start my Friday, and
Jesus Christ.
I'm extremely
That's-
sore from having to just get into a dead sprint with this
Well,
kid.
that's awesome, though, Jake. Like, people are in the chat are saying you're a hero.
Yeah.
I agree. That's crazy. That's good instincts. I mean, it's good instincts in, like, hero instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to make sure the dude isn't going to hurt this girl anymore. So hopefully
You sound like a hero at a press conference. You're saying, you know what? I'm
just doing what I had to do, you know?
doing it for the minimum wage.
Yeah.
You
Jesus.
get a
Well,
raise.
also thank you for working in a grocery store, especially
Yeah.
during this time. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's so wild. What has that been like? Have you had any people like be super crazy or just like totally
No,
disrespectful?
we've gotten super lucky. Everyone has like
That's right.
actually followed the rules. We haven't had a single freak out.
No Karens.
Or,
Oh, that's
people
awesome.
are
Great.
mad. Yeah, no Karen.
No Karens.
No, what's the equivalent? No Kyles. No
No
Karens.
Karens
Yeah.
or Kyles. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
like, we just have a sign at the entrance that says "Please wear a mask," and like everyone's been following it. So
Wow.
Oh, that's
it's
good.
going really well.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
Jake, thank you for
Yeah,
your
thanks for
service.
that
You're
story.
one of the good ones.
Yeah.
And people say that you're a mix. Your voice is a mix of Rogan and Ray Romano.
I've definitely heard both of those before.
I think that's more accurate than Kermit the Frog. Anyways, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Jake. We really
thanks.
appreciate you.
Thanks, Jake.
Bye.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, guys. You too.
Wow, we got a real hero on the show.
Yeah.
That's
Hero watch.
amazing. Like what? Like most people would just like not do anything. Just like let that guy run away. Like what am I like? That's crazy.
That is so fucking nuts, dude.
That's cool.
Dude. People saying good instincts and hot as hell. We got some good guys who listen to us.
Yeah, we
They're,
do.
like,
Yeah.
nice, noble fellows.
Yeah, we do. And you'd think, you know, for a woman-hating show, we'd get some misogynists in here, but no.
Rachel's coming in.
Rachel?
You guys are all so cute. I've been watching you on YouTube, but it feels like real life.
It is. It is real
It's
life.
real life. Welcome. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Seattle,
Ooh.
which is a very like serial killery place.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Lots of stuff happens here. So my mom, this is actually a two-part story, unrelated part. Two short stories. So my mom grew up next to the Green River Killer, And
Ooh.
like we didn't.
She grew up next to him?
Yeah, like teenage, like neighborhood, like hell.
Oh no.
my God. But like, nobody knew who the Green River Killer was until he was arrested like 20 years ago. But when we found out, my uncle, her brother, obviously was like, yeah, you don't remember Gary? And my mom's like, no clue. And he was a little older than she was. But apparently my uncle and he would like, were in like a little bike gang in the neighborhood. And he like came over to their house and like baked cookies. And
oh my God.
That's so weird. And my mom was like, was that the guy that like came over once and he wasn't allowed to come over again? Because like my grandma just got bad vibes and was like, he's not welcome anymore.
Wow. Isn't that funny how people just
grandmas
get that?
know? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was real weird. And then my second story is actually a guardian angel story.
Oh, Allie,
go off.
Notebook out, Allie.
That reminded me of something. Okay, so before you get into that story, I'm going to, if Irios will have me, I don't know, I haven't asked yet, but I'm going to start a podcast of guardian angel stories where like each week I want someone to come on and tell me their story about like a guardian angel, and then
That's
we'll
a great
like, talk
idea.
about it. Thanks.
Yeah.
You guys weren't into it last week. So
we were into it as soon as
I
you
think
said
it's
it.
a great idea.
So each week someone will come on and talk about their guardian angel story, and then maybe some week we'll be talking about like angel numbers or stuff like that, because we're like always interested about in like the different archangels and things like that. So anyways, tell your guardian angel story, but then I'm going to need you to come on my podcast again and tell it on my podcast. But okay, what's your story?
So this is also my mother's story, but she's my mom, so it's also mine. When I have two older brothers, and when she was pregnant with me, the boys were still pretty little, like two and a half and like 7 or 8 months old. Like we're all pretty close together. And my dad was out working, and she's just pregnant, overwhelmed. The baby had colic, would not stop crying, like just completely over her head. Obviously, like pregnancy hormones, like just probably crying all the time. Mm-hmm. And we lived in a fairly secluded neighborhood. Like we didn't have super close neighbors. There's no sidewalks, anything like that, like woods everywhere. And one day there was a knock at the door, and it was just this woman my mom had never met before. And the woman was like, do you need help? And my mom was just like, this is the first person that had asked if she needed any help with the babies or anything, or like a break to like take a shower, anything. And so my mom was just like started crying. Was like, yeah, I do. So this woman came in to our house. This is also like the 80s. So like things like this happened. Yeah. And this woman came in, held my brother, rocked him to sleep, which it was like the first time he'd slept in like a day. Like it was way past nap time. My other brother was napping. My mom took a shower, like laid down for a minute. And then when the baby was asleep, the woman came to my mom and said, I think it's time for me to go now, and left. And then my mother never saw her again, had no idea who she was not related to like any of our neighbors. Like she asked everyone, was like, was your mom in town? Was your sister in? Like nobody knew who this woman was. Never saw her again. And my mom swears up and down it was a guardian angel.
Holy
my
shit.
God.
That's crazy.
That is
wild.
So weird.
Yeah, that is so bizarre.
Oh my God. That is crazy, dude. That is so wild.
Like a lot of parts of that story, like don't let a stranger into your house, but like with your babies and like leave them unattended.
It was the 80s. Like,
it was the 80s. Who cares?
Who cares? Baby?
She swears that it was just a guardian angel that like knew she needed a little bit of help to get through that day. And then after that, she like told my dad, she's like, I have to call my grandma. She has to come stay. Like I can't do all of this. And so my dad was like, sure. But like,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I believe
That's
it, Rachel.
Awesome. Allie, you've got a guest.
I've got a guest. And if you called in the last weeks, like there was David. Then there was that woman. There is that woman whose boyfriend was left the 911 tape.
Oh my God! Yes, last week.
Yeah.
And then there was someone who, when she was young, she saw a ghost on her bed, and then it turned out to be the ghost of like her boyfriend. Remember, who she dated when she was older?
No, wait, I don't remember that one.
That's
Rachel.
Allie, that's not.
No.
anything.
Okay, Rachel, we can release you, and then I'm gonna get into what
You're
I'm
free to
talking
go.
about. Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks,
No,
bye.
okay, remember there was this girl. There was this girl when she was little. She kept seeing a ghost at the edge of her bed.
Oh,
And it was her future boyfriend?
And then when she grew up, it turned out to be her fiance who had died.
oh, I remember that. That was like 2
I'm not
weeks
crazy,
ago.
right?
No, I remember
Yeah.
that. I don't remember the
Yeah.
specifics, but I do remember that.
So those
We've
people
got three
need to
more
email.
people. We've got 3 people in the waiting room. So this is Shay, and then we're gonna do keep in the waiting room, you guys, because we'll get to you.
Hi,
Hey,
Shay.
How are y'all?
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm
Great.
surviving.
Or the Shea Club.
It's going pretty good. We were going to try to meet up this weekend, but I had previous plans. Yeah.
Oh, in Houston.
That's
Yeah,
right. I
told you
saw that on the
to
Discord.
follow along.
That makes me so
Discord.
happy.
Yeah, I hope everybody that's in the storm zone this coming up week is going to be okay.
Oh, the 2 tropical storms?
Yeah, it looks pretty
Like side by side?
Yeah. I mean, it is all
That's
just projections
bonkers.
right now.
Sure.
But I mean, I was in
Yeah.
Houston during Harvey. So that was fun.
Oh,
It's crazy.
damn.
There's a really funny Onion headline that was like Hurricane Ashley.
Oh,
Hurricane Ashley like blows through New Orleans, and it's a picture of this girl.
Oh my God.
Anyway, that
I
always
feel like
makes
I've
me
seen
think
that.
of that.
I feel like I've seen that.
I don't really have any other stories or anything, but I did start to notice something though. My Xbox
Uh-oh.
downstairs. Well, my mom passed away in like 2011, so I have her urn on the mantle of the fireplace, which is right next to the Xbox. But like, it's been coming on at night at like 3 a.m. And like,
And she's been playing like
Mario
Red Dead
Kart?
Redemption.
It just turned on. She did play video games with me when she was, around.
Oh my God, she totally
But
is.
it was weird because like I have literally just been like brushing it off because I have a beautiful dog and a curious cat. So I always was just all like, oh, one of them must have pressed the button in the middle of the night. And then, I wake up in the morning, go to work, and I'm like, oh, I got to turn off the Xbox. But then like a couple of days ago, I was all like, oh, the Xbox is on. So I go in there and I turn it off, and it immediately came right back on. And I was like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. I've checked all my settings because it's an older generation and it was making noises a while ago. So I was all like, all right, it needs to shut down completely. It can't do the voice on anymore.
Yeah.
Like to have it shuts down completely every day, but it comes on randomly, not every night, but a good amount of nights.
So you know what you need to do, Shay, is you need to get like another controller and you just need to put it down, and then you need to do like a 2-player game and see what happens.
No.
Just wait
Like
it
no
out.
joke, I bet that might be something. Try it.
Mario
That would be
Kart.
so
Give it a shot,
scary.
Steve.
Yes, give it a shot and then just let us know what happens.
That's wild.
Wow.
That's so crazy.
Thanks for letting me come on again.
Thank you for
thank
being.
you.
We appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
All right.
See you in the
Shay, it's
Discord.
great seeing you. We'll see you on the Discord. Bye.
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 That's scary. I mean, it's nice, but it's scary
Yeah.
too.
That is scary.
We got Matt.
Oh,
Matt's
Matt.
coming in.
Oh, Matt's back.
Matt's back.
Matt's
Hello.
back.
I am back.
Who's
like
that
that.
with you?
It's a frog.
It's a picture of a frog. But my dog is snoring next to me, so you might hear that. Here, Emma, come here.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
it's the snoring
good-
frog.
we got a good girl.
This is who's with me.
Oh,
Hello.
that's a good dog.
Hi, that's a good
Hi.
girl.
That's a good dog.
That's a good baby. So what's going on,
Yeah,
Matt?
what's going
How's your
on?
week?
It was good, I think. Pretty uneventful.
Cool.
But I, quarantine. Hair getting longer, beard getting longer. I think I need to get rid of it all. So I have a crime adjacent. Oh, sorry. I have a high school crime adjacent story for you.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
So this is my high school, Edmond North High School in Edmond, Oklahoma. So back in 2004, September, Mr. Spencer, who was a social studies teacher, was at home, and he took his dog for a walk, leaving his wife of 3 years at home. While he was gone, two masked men broke into the house. They pinned his wife down and restrained her with duct tape. So before the intruders could do anything else, Mr. Spencer returned home and took on both men simultaneously. So he's in this kind of he's in this epic fight.
He's a Jake. He was a Jake figure.
Yeah.
So he's kind of in this, pretty epic fight with these two guys. While he's fighting them, his wife's able to kind of loosen herself and crawl over to the phone and call 911.
Wow.
So half of the on-duty police officers rushed towards the scene. So Mr. Spencer continued to fight the two guys. He broke like a board over one of their backs. But both of them ended up fleeing the scene. The police arrived. Both Mr. Spencer and his wife were unharmed. So a search of the area worked. The police found the two intruders and arrested them. They were two students from Mr. Spencer's class.
No. Is this going to end up being you, Matt? And Matt's going to go, and
Matt,
one
what'd
of
you
them
do?
was me.
That's so weird. Why would they do that?
So,
why would you do that, Matt?
Yeah, Matt, why'd you do that?
Yeah. Why? The next morning.
Uh-oh.
So having been caught and captured two students, Mr. Spencer is told, hey, it's these two students of yours that have been caught. And he's like, oh, crap. So Mr. Spencer
hired them.
Felt that, yes, he did hire him. He called the police station and said that was a prank, and that he had paid two of his students each $100 to stage a home invasion, complete with a choreographed fight with a breakaway board.
What?
Because
Why?
his marriage was failing. His wife had recently filed for divorce, and this was his desperate attempt to be a hero in her eyes. So
that's the saddest thing I've ever heard.
So her getting out of the duct tape and calling the police was not part of the plan.
Look at Allie. She's thinking to herself, yeah, makes sense.
It makes total sense to me.
I know. I'm looking at your face. And
you
going
saw this a mile away, which is
him.
weird that you're like, oh, he hired them. I mean, I was like, what?
Hired them. Last ditch effort. Way to be a hero.
So she wasn't supposed to call the police. He was supposed to
he was fight him away, get him away, and then.
But wouldn't she be like, let's call the police anyway?
Right, and I think hopefully the idea was
terrible
they wouldn't contact
such a
the
good
police
plan
in soon enough time for them to be able to catch them.
She should have been too horny to call the police. That was he was hoping.
But
that would be the worst if you found out it was all fake. I mean, that would be really gross.
How embarrassing.
Did they end up getting that divorce, Matt, or was it smooth sailing?
I believe the divorce happened, and I tried to find follow-ups to this because I remember this happening. It was a few years above me. It was my brother's class.
Wow.
The Trent Spencer is the teacher's name. He was charged with filing a false police report. But that's the last detail I could find. I couldn't find any criminal complaint. And then
was he still teaching?
He maybe not at North. He was fired from Edmond North. And as far as I can tell, I did some background check researches last night when I was trying to when I decided to tell this story today, and I can't find his information anywhere. So he's either scrubbed it pretty well, or it's some part of he had a really good lawyer and was able to get that sketched. So he was charged, but he pleaded not guilty. But that's the last thing I know. And then the 2 students didn't face any charges, but they were suspended 3 days from school.
Have you thought about making this into a movie?
This is the second good story in a row for you.
I know.
Right,
The Stranger was the first one.
You're good at twists.
A few years ago, maybe I don't know how many years ago this was, but someone who went to my school, I was in the class with his sister. His name was Kevin Costello. He's actually a writer on the new Tom and Jerry movie.
Oh.
I think wrote a story inspired by this. Like the crime was a bit more intense. It was instead of like a home invasion, it was like a kidnapping and stuff.
Right.
And John Hamm was attached to it for a while, but that kind of it was gonna be directed by some like ESPN guy, but it all kind of fell apart. So I knew that was
Ham's attached. You think you're going to the stars, but if he gets off that rocket, you're dust. You might as well just be dust.
Yeah, so
just be
weirdly,
dust in the wind.
So there's definitely interest in this movie. But yeah, there's a more successful person in the industry from my high school who got to it first.
That's
wow,
crazy.
this is just crazy.
Well, Matt, head over to the YouTube chat because people are loving what you're bringing.
Good.
And thank you so much. Again, these are great stories. You're a great
keep them coming,
storyteller.
please.
What was that? Sorry.
She said, "Keep them coming." He needed to hear it again.
All right, I'll try it.
You're a great storyteller.
Just one more time, yeah.
Good, thank you.
One more time.
Bye, Matt. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Matt. All right, we have one more caller in here who's been waiting.
Sure,
so we'll
do
let
one
Nick
more.
in, and this will be our.
Oh, Bubba,
are you okay, Allie?
ready
Do you
to
need be
go?
somewhere?
No, I'm just looking at my Bubba.
Nick,
you watching basketball?
Nick,
I am watching basketball.
Right now?
Yeah.
Is it the Clippers game?
No, Celtics.
God damn it!
Are you in Boston?
I am in New Hampshire.
Oh,
second New Hampshire.
Second
New Hampshire 69's Vermont.
Sure, I would.
That's right.
How's it going, Nick?
It's going great. How about you guys? It's great to meet you guys.
It's good to meet you too.
Good, fine.
We're big fans of yours.
No, you're not.
Sure we are.
I would be.
I appreciate it. Oh.
Do you have a question, comment, concern, story?
Well, I have a couple of shitty stories, and I'm looking for some advice too.
Oh,
great.
Oh, cool. Great. Start with whatever you want to start with.
So, I have crappy ghost stories. I have sleep paralysis. It's kind of why I started listening. So, the big reoccurring thing that happens to me is I'll have the sleep paralysis and I'll feel someone crawl into bed next to me.
No.
And I hear like whispering in my ear, and then I wake up. Yeah, it's terrible. So
I hate it.
No.
What do they say? Do you know what they whisper?
No,
Web
I
crawlers
can never
suck.
understand it. It's just like
The earth is flat. My name's Mark Sargent.
yeah, gross stuff like that, explicitly like that, just like that.
Oh my god, that's so scary.
So, and I have a ghost story too, and I'm upset I don't have better ghost stories, but this is where the advice part
every
will come
story is
in.
good.
But I usually go to sleep, and I usually will be listening to a podcast with one earbud in. But recently, I've been hearing a woman's voice in my other ear.
Are you sure that's Allie? That's not Allie. Just the voice echoes.
I climb into everyone's
It's a
beds
ringing.
at night.
So I started thinking maybe it's like someone in the background of the podcast I'm listening to, but I've like rewound, and it's definitely not. So
What? That's weird.
It's a woman's voice. Once again, I can't hear it. It's definitely not sleep paralysis. I'm completely awake.
That's scary.
So there's a girl I went to high school with who grew up in the house I live in now. She got murdered a couple years ago.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, she got stabbed in the chest by her boyfriend.
Oh my god.
In the house?
Not in the house, but like I've talked to people about her, and like This house is a big part of her life. I don't know if it's related, but it freaks me out. So.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, no, it's a crappy ghost story, but here's where the advice comes in.
No, it's not crappy.
So
okay, well, Amanda in the chat says, I hear voices when I'm falling asleep, and it's always just word salad. I don't know what that means.
Salad. Just like, yeah, just like random word, just like sounds, like voices, like.
No, this is like I'm awake. I'm not like falling asleep. It's like I'm awake, trying to go to bed, but there's
what?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
No. You're wearing a wedding ring, though. Is it your wife?
No, it's not my wife.
Nick?
Yeah, no. So, my advice is...
What's your advice? Yeah, what's your question?
What I want is, I don't feel like I have good ghost stories, but I want to give my wife good ghost stories. So...
so what can you do to scare her?
I want to hire someone.
No, get Matt back on. Matt can tell you.
No, like, I've already told her about this, so I can't do it. I saved me from myself. Like, just get someone in to take pictures of us with her phone while we're sleeping.
No.
And our kids.
No.
Andrew.
What?
I know it's a bad idea.
No, you know what you need to do, Nick. You need to go on a haunted holiday. Once COVID's over, you need to take, if you really want a ghost story, you got to go on a haunted holiday somewhere.
I just wish
that means
someone would have come up with this idea for me, so I would have something like this.
I mean,
you got to be careful what you wish for, Nick. I mean,
you're going to invite some sort of demon into your home,
like Pazuzu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Don't say that.
Don't say his name.
Oh yeah, what was that thing, Sting? Zuzu? Was that
Zozo?
No, like Zozo.
No, it's Zuzu.
Oh my God! God forbid. You trying to find my sage and I can't find it. People are saying this is the wildest thing I have ever heard. This is one of our
I know it's a bad idea. I've already come clean about it. I've already admitted this was an idea to save me from myself. So,
Nick, if you want to go into the Web Crawlers Discord, we'll set up a new channel that'll be Nick tries to get a divorce from his wife by scaring her until she leaves him.
It didn't work for Mr. Spencer, so it's not going to work for you.
Maybe like a GoFundMe or something. Maybe that would be better.
A GoFundMe to scare your...
They're saying don't do it, Nick. They're saying don't do it. This is bad.
Pazuzu was the demon from The Exorcist.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Excuse me.
Oh,
yeah, I thought
okay.
you were... We were dealing in a long time ago. We dealt with a demon, with a Ouija board demon who was named Zozo.
We didn't deal with a Ouija board demon.
We dealt with it.
We didn't deal with it. That was Melissa with a magnet.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Anyways, thank you so much for your call, Nick. Don't emotionally traumatize your wife, please.
I'll try not to.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye.
Nick.
Bye. Oh my God.
Wow.
Literally
so
went from
funny.
a call about a guy hiring someone to scare his wife to a guy who wants to scare his wife.
Wants to scare his wife.
It's the Matrix.
It's the Matrix, baby.
Seriously, man. Let me see if there's any more people to thank before we close out.
I'd like to thank my family, the Academy.
Thank
I'd like
Kitty.
to thank my dog and Melissa's kitty and Asher.
I would like to thank Elle and Alexandra for $5 and $2. We really, really appreciate it. It helps with our setup and Melissa's drama-free zone sign, and also with us like making the merch and stuff like that. So it's really helpful. Thank you very much. And since Melissa does all the editing and things like that of the shows, it helps with that and our research as well. So we really appreciate it. Anyways, thank you as usual for coming to our live show. Can't wait to see what happens next week.
Who knows?
You know?
These are so fun. This is always so much fun to meet all of you and hear all of these stories.
It's like having plans with friends.
It is.
We're just like building. It's like building a community. I wonder if anyone popped over to the Alarmist live show.
Oh, was that
That's
happening?
not till next
Oh,
week.
it's next week. Oh.
And I think, but you guys, if you listen to the Alarmist, check that out. They're going to be doing a live show for the Alarmist. Maybe we could even do some sort of crossover. I don't know. It's just ideas. These are ideas.
Just spitballing.
So if you have a guardian angel story, please email me at
God, we've lost
Siegel.
Allie. She's gone.
Siegel, SEGEL.Allison, ALISON @gmail.com, or DM me on Twitter or on Instagram, because I want to have you on my new podcast called
Guardian Angels.
She thinks everyone's against her.
My new podcast is called it's called Angelic
What is it
Encounters.
called?
It's called Angelic Encounters with Allison Siegel.
Angelic Encounters?
Angelic Encounters.
Angelic Encounters. God help you if that's the name. Angelic Encounters.
Anyway.
Hosted by Angelica Counters.
Anyways, my dad just came home with some California Pizza Kitchen pizzas.
Oh God. Shut this off.
So, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stetton.
And I'm Maria Blasucci, producer extraordinaire. And this is Angelic Encounters.
Angelic Encounters. It sounds so good. Bye.
Bye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.